Hello. Welcome back to MJ Gooner podcast right here for the post-match review. Liverpool 2, Arsenal 2. And a lot of people think, certainly I do think as well, that this is probably the best game in the Premier League of this season. And potentially it could be, the best game across all competition, all other leagues as well. Yes, I mean, as an Arsenal fan, you feel gutted, you feel a little bit disappointed that we didn't win this game because, again, there's so much at stake that we're playing for. But the fact that, we have been atrocious, we have been terrible throughout, the last 10 years playing at Anfield. And today I felt like we deserve, I think it's kind of a fair result in a lot of ways. I know there might be a lot of Liverpool fans that they think that they deserve to win. I wouldn't blame them because honestly the whole second half they were all over the place. They were so much better than Arsenal. And of course for Arsenal fan, we felt like we should have gotten more than just a 1 point. We felt like we could have done better in the first half towards the end where we should not be allowing the first goal. And of course, the second half was pretty much all over the place for us. And we did not play well. Liverpool kept pushing until, the last breath pretty much. And Arsenal, I think today we have quite a lot of statement to establish. First of all, it's again, we always get bullied at Anfield. And today we no longer gotten bullied today, but instead we stood up, we put up a good fight, but in the end it was a good fight, entertaining match, and Liverpool deserved the point as well. I think we deserved the point as well. And I know there are a lot of Arsenal fans feel, like I said, gutted that we didn't finish this game off, because the fact that the first 30 minutes we have been quite dominant. So prior to this game, there were so much talk around the Arsenal camp, the Liverpool camp, of course. Starting from the Liverpool camp, Thiago and also Luis Diaz are back and fully fit as well. Well, not quite fully fit, but they're fit to play. And I believe it was it Gakpo or somebody else in the Liverpool squad did not feature the other day. I know it's all BS and stuff like that, but it's all about deception. It's all about playing mind tricks, and I'm sure a lot of Arsenal fans didn't quite really got into it, which is good. But for us, we Mikel Arteta played quite a bit of mind trick with us, hinting that somebody who was out for the past couple of months or for the past couple of games, might be featured, might be trained on Saturday. And everybody thought it was William Saliba, given that Tomiyasu was already confirmed that he's going to be out this season. El Neni as well. So it was either between Saliba or Eddie Nketiah. And the thing is, it could have been both. Well, Eddie, again, had a ankle injury, and I'm sure he's kind of still on his way on the rehab. And Saliba, again, Arsenal, they are very hopeful that he is going to get featured again this season, and I'm sure a lot of Arsenal fans are hopeful as well. So the fact that, Mikel Arteta said that, he was being hopeful that William Saliba will be playing again, which kind of gave us, that hint where, Saliba might be playing as well. But turns out it was not. Again, I would rather have a, fully fit Rob Holding than a half fit or 75% fit of William Saliba. We have much bigger games in the end. We have City, Chelsea, and also Newcastle United, and also Brighton afterwards. So those 4 tough games, we certainly want to rest. We certainly do want to rest Saliba for that. But you know what? We have to stick with Rob Holding, which is fine. I don't think it was bad today in any way, but it felt like there's so much to talk about in this game. So let's just talk about the lineup again. Not surprised at all. But again, there was a big dilemma whether you want to put Trossard in, considering the fact that he scored 3 goals, a hat trick against Anfield or against Liverpool earlier on in this season. So Ateta might be wanting to put him up there, hopefully, getting the same kind of success that Trossard did for Brighton. And you have Gabriel Jesus, which again came back strongly, scoring 2 goals against Leeds United at home last time out, proving himself that he is back. He is fully fit, fully back. With the same form at the start of the season where he would score goals. And you have Bukayo Saka on the right hand side. Again, this guy, it's undroppable at the moment. You don't want to drop. You don't want to drop him for anybody else. You can see that there's kind of like a dynamic issue between Ben White and also Trossard on the right hand side last time. But today, having the partnership between Ben White and Saka, that bit of chemistry partnership also helped us to score the first goal, because that's where it started. So and yeah, so in the end, it could be, Martinelli's going to be on the left hand side regardless. I think he has been amazing for the past few games. So it's either between Trossard or Jesus, but in a game like this, you might want to go for Jesus. I don't think you want to start Trossard. Again, this is a good problem that Mikel Arteta has, because it's a very tough question to think. It's a tough situation to be in. Having that many quality players on the bench, and you want to make the right choice. You want to make sure that the choices that you make are certainly going to benefit the team. And I felt like today it pays off. So and yeah, starting off this game again, we controlled the game very well. Going to Anfield, we haven't won on this ground for 11 years. So there's a little bit of a trauma. There's a little bit of a curse, on this ground, especially Arsenal playing it. Again, I believe Liverpool currently right now has the 3rd best home record compared to other teams. They're behind Arsenal, also Man City. But again, Anfield is such a classic, historic stadium. And, regardless how strong you can be in the league, but playing at Anfield could have, it's tough. But, Real Madrid, I believe they beat them 5-2, or maybe the other way around. Actually, yeah, 5-2. But again, even Man City lost to Liverpool. And then for Manchester United was also, they also lost, in this game, losing 7-0. So anything is possible in this game. You know what? I at the same time, when I come into this game, I was being a little bit pessimistic. I don't think I was being optimistic at all. I felt like, I'm not very convinced that we are going to get a result. And it's more like I felt like, losing can be inevitable playing on this ground. Last time we lost 4-0. 4-0. I mean, I'm talking about the league game. We lost 4-0. And of course, we have Nuno Tavares back then. I still remember that goal. Jota scoring the beautiful solo goal. And you thought you don't want to have that to happen again. But again, the squad that we have today was completely different than the one that we had a year and a half ago. Well, at least today we have Xhaka coming back into the starting lineup with Zinchenko. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And having Jesus as well, so which is something that we can take away with it. So starting this game, again, we controlled the game very well. I felt like, it's kind of 50-50. We controlled a game where I felt like, it's better than the game of Chelsea and Liverpool, where the ball just kind of bounces everywhere. And 8 minutes in, we scored the first goal. It was, I wouldn't necessarily say it's scrappy, but we needed a little bit of luck, and that's what a champion team should be, where you kind of win by luck. And I felt like scoring the first goal at 8th minute was extraordinary. We scored exactly a minute mark in the reverse fixture, and today we score at exactly at 8 minutes, which is honestly amazing. What a great way to start. Martinelli, again, I felt like he took a little bit of more of a touches than we thought he would, to be honest. It felt like either Trent or Konate or even Van Dijk might nick the ball off him, but in the end, you gotta give prompts to Martinelli. He has pretty good feet, good dribbling as well. In the end, he just a little bit of a toe poke it, and we scored the first goal, and that's how we scored. And it's funny because, speaking of Martinelli, the matchup between Martinelli and Trent are going to be a very interesting one. And of course, Robertson and also Saka is also an interesting one as well. Trent, he is known for not very good, defensively, but offensively he is amazing. But having a guy like Martinelli driven down on the left-hand side, any opposition player would be scared, right? To put it that way. But Trent, again, I think within a minute or two, I believe it was, Martinelli driving down the left-hand side, already dribbling past Trent and going to the box, but trying to cross it back. Unfortunately, I couldn't pick anybody up, but that was the early sign where Trent could be in trouble. Liverpool could be in trouble if we decide to heavily attacking the left-hand side of the Liverpool backline. So that was the first sign, and in the end, it was Martinelli, the one who scored that goal. Later on, I think after that, the thing is I don't remember well because I recorded this literally 3-4 hours after the game. I felt I needed a recharge to talk about this game. I took a nap right after, but I felt like I don't want to get mixed up between fact and also emotion. I felt like I could be saying something wrong that you guys might not like if I would have, if I recorded earlier. But it's fine. Right now, I don't have all the memories on, but at least I have some, like the important moments. And speaking of another important moment, Bukayo Saka lays down a cross to Jesus at the far post. That was another specialty, another great area of Bukayo Saka's game where he could pick anybody up. His crossing, his curve on the ball was amazing. He was finding Gabriel Jesus at the far post, but again, it was a very awkward bounce in the end and just puts it over the bar, I believe so. And later on, I felt like, we took the 1-0 lead. What we need to do is to, depends on the circumstances, but based on how Liverpool was playing, we should keep attacking them. I felt like for the first 30 minutes, Liverpool was quite poor. And I'm sure a lot of Liverpool fans might, agree with me. Like the first 30 minutes was pretty much all Arsenal, despite Liverpool had a chance. I'm not sure is it before the Jesus goal or after the Jesus goal. But the second goal, we score. Again, it was a beautifully executed play. Xhaka seeing Martinelli was kind of down the line, kind of far away from, and Trent was kind of off his position. And Konate at one point was kind of playing as a right back to cover Trent's mess at the back. And Konate I think he has done well. I think the majority when we, the fact that we scored the first 2 goals was pretty much not really on Konate's side. I think Konate has been amazing today. And again, the goal, Martinelli on the left-hand side, pulled back a little bit, seeing Jesus have so much space in between himself and also with Van Dijk. and Robertson. They were, he was right in between them, and the cross was brilliantly, crossed straight to Jesus' head, and just one bounce out off the ground. Alisson had no chance to save that one. And just like that, we are up 2-0. Again, like I said, attacking Trent on the left-hand side might be the key for us to potentially win the game, because we have to exploit. We all know that this is kind of a weak spot for Liverpool. It's defensively their right side. It's not as good compared to the left hand side. But when you talk about the right hand side for Liverpool, offensively they might be one of the best. You have Trent, a good cross, a good attacking right back, and also you have Salah, who was currently on fire, I believe so. I think after he signed a contract, there's a bit of he was struggling quite a bit, but for the past few months he had been the same Salah again, which I deeply fear, because again, he is a great player and he scored a couple of goals against Arsenal before, and having Salah in the right hand side, plus we don't have Tomiyasu, we don't have Kieran Tierney, we're kind of leaving Salah and also Zinchenko. But today Gabriel Magalhaes had I would say he has a masterclass today. I know we conceded 2 goals, but the fact that Salah couldn't really do much in today's game except scoring that goal, it was it shows Gabriel has the capability of marking him up, not just Tomiyasu. Of course, last time out, Tomiyasu played a vital role as a right back in that game. I think it was Zinchenko was still hurt back then, and that was the game where I feel like this game would be fine, to be honest, because I felt like we weren't quite exposed on the right hand side a lot. But there's the first chance where I thought Salah would have scored, was a Rob Holding missed pass to Henderson. Henderson puts a through ball to Salah, and I thought he's gonna score. But you know what? If it was Salah 2-3 years ago, he would have definitely scored that one. But the fact that he didn't even hit the goalkeeper, I think he completely screwed that shot. Even though he might not have a chance to score, but getting a shot on target would be enough in this game. And just like that, we kind of got away with it. And somehow, at one point after the 30th minute, we felt like Liverpool is coming. Liverpool is starting to show, why they were historically such a great team, and this season why, where when they, get themselves together, they can be a very good team. And I felt like there's so many chances where, it's finally Liverpool trying to break the deadlock, especially on our right-hand side. Again, the weakling we have today defensively, it's always Rob Holding, and I don't blame him, because this is the type of quality player that he is. This is what we're getting, a 2 million from him. This is what we get from Rob Holding. And like I said, I don't particularly blame Rob Holding in today's game. And in fact, I don't really blame a lot of people in this game. The fact that we drew might be Mikel Arteta, which I will kind of talk about that later. I'm not sure if you guys are on board with the with the discussion that I might have later on. But again, they start to exploit our right hand side a little bit more, since Gabriel was pretty much pocketing Salah throughout the first 30-40 minutes. The right hand side clearly not working as well as they thought they would, so that's why they shift everything to the left hand side between Diogo Jota. I believe Curtis Jones was playing as well, but again, I'm sure Liverpool had the fear having their midfield right there. And on the left-hand side, we got exposed quite a bit. Again, I felt like we weren't very clever in terms of clearing the ball. A lot of times I felt like we allowing Liverpool to attack us in a way. The first example was extraordinary. I feel like the first example was Jordan Henderson in the box. I think he completely skies that one. But prior to what happened in that display, I felt like we just couldn't really clear the ball the first time because we were scared. We were if we clear the ball, so what? Because Liverpool's gonna have the ball back. They're gonna play dominant football again. So they keep doing the same thing, and for us, we're not very clinical in terms of trying to clear the ball away. And in the end, we just know. And of course, the whole thing with actually, let's talk about Ben White's yellow card. I felt like that was a little bit. I mean, we have poor Tierney today, so you don't expect much in today's game. Lack of consistency. I felt like there's so many fouls from both teams should have been called. And the fact that we got away with it sometimes and Liverpool got away sometimes shows the inconsistency that Paul Tierney has. And apparently, Paul Tierney has officiated an Arsenal game 7 times, and none of the games that he officiated result in a way Arsenal won. So we all know that the history of Paul Tierney with United, Arsenal, earlier season where he disallowed the goal, which I think it should have been stand. But coming to this game with Paul Tierney, you don't expect much, and the lack of consistency can kind of show. Ben White, literally first tackle. I know he lost the ball. The fact that it was a clear tackle in the end might be a little bit harsh on the scissors tackle, but I felt like it shouldn't be a yellow card. Might have been a foul, fair, but yellow card that early might be a little bit too much. And later on, Xhaka, again, I felt like he was losing his head, and that's when you watch Granit Xhaka this year in the team, you find him a great player, but mentally, emotionally, sometimes you want to make sure that he doesn't you don't want to mess up with with his head. And today will show a great example, and I'm sure it might play the factor where Liverpool might got one back. I think the fact that Xhaka went down, was not happy with the play, trying to get the ball back and kind of give a little nudge at the back against Trent, and Trent gave him some sort of treatment at the same time. And this is where the battles start to happen. This is where that was the beginning. It was before the goal. That was the beginning of where Liverpool, Anfield start to roll up, start to have more emotion in the game, more cheers in the game. I'm sure Granit Xhaka might have woken up the Anfield crowd, and that we're in trouble. Again, Anfield's a tough place to play, and having a 2-0 lead, you don't want to mess with the crowd. And well, too bad Xhaka messed up with the crowd. A few minutes later, Salah scored the first goal. It was I don't know how to describe that goal, guys. It's a weird one. Curtis Jones on the left hand side, I believe it was Jota, kind of crosses in the middle to Henderson. Henderson feeds it to Salah. I think that was a good play by Henderson. I'm sure he intended to give it to Salah, but again, Salah, Mo Salah was there at the right time, and they scored the first goal. Defensively, we could have been better. I felt like the overlap that the Liverpool did was certainly that part killed the game. I believe it was before that. I think Robertson trying to take a shot. It was a great pass by Fabinho, but the shots went out wide. And we go into the halftime, and 2-1 up in halftime. Not the worst result, but certainly could have done better. Certainly we shouldn't, or we don't want to concede that goal right before halftime. I think that one was crucial. That was also another reason that could possibly be the reason why Liverpool was still in the game. I think after that goal, if we have kept a clean sheet in the first half, going to the second half, it might have been, the outcome would have been different. I'm not saying that Arsenal would be 100% going to win this game, but certainly we are, we're capable to suppress them in a way where Liverpool might not have enough time to make a comeback. Second half started, no changes. I wonder what Mikel Arteta said in the dressing room, because again, didn't quite fire up the team at all. We might have a few chances in the second half, but certainly wasn't good enough to give us a perfect result. And I believe 51st minute, it was I wouldn't necessarily say it's a clumsy challenge by Rob Holding, but with the whole inconsistency around VAR and referee, I'm not even surprised that they're going to give that as a penalty. But when you look at the replay again, it might be soft, but in a fair assessment, I think that was a penalty by Rob Holding. Again, I think it was an accident, clear accident. Everybody was going for the ball, but in the end, it was unfortunate for Rob Holding to trip Diogo Jota in the box, and that was a penalty. I'm not going to complain it. It just happened. And penalty kick. Ramsdale hasn't saved a penalty kick for I don't remember the last time he saved a penalty kick. I don't think there might be a record of that as well. But penalty kick, Salah's gonna take it. There's no other person in that team's gonna take it, to be honest. But drop my phone, which is fine. I'll pick up later. And Salah puts that one wide. And the last person who put the penalty wide was Patrick Bamford. And that was a crucial game as well, the game against Leeds, because we should have lost that game. In this game, we shouldn't be winning this game, but Salah had a chance to make a comeback, a perfect 2-0 comeback. Could potentially make it 2-2, but he puts that one out wide. I know what he's thinking. He missed a crucial penalty against Bournemouth away, which led them to a loss. And I'm sure he want to keep it simple. He want to keep the ball down. Ramsdale, again, I don't really quite trust him in goal in terms of penalty saving. But you know what? We got lucky again, because I feel like if Salah scores that goal, Liverpool might have gone on and win this game, and I'm guaranteed that. Later on, 51st minute, there's a whole... And then Arsenal was pretty much asleep. Arsenal didn't really get a lot of stuff. We're trying to get a lot of balls to Jesus. Jesus trying to chest it down, but every time when he was trying to body up with the ball, Van Dijk is behind him. Konate is behind him. Everybody was behind him. We barely have any chances. Pretty much, I think it was Odegaard had the shot straight at Alisson. But on the other hand, Liverpool keep pushing and pushing and pushing. Not Diego Nunes. Darwin Nunes coming on right there. Again, well, at first, to be fair, I don't think he quite live up with the 100 million price tag on him. But I think recently, for the past few months, he had, showing his value. He has been improving. I can definitely see that he's more threatening than before. And I believe who came on, I think it was Thiago coming on as well for Curtis Jones. And that's pretty much, that would have probably sums up the game. Thiago, a great passer, great experience, 31-year-old. Doesn't have the leg, but had the experience, had the pass in him to make a difference in the game. And for Arsenal, at that moment, you feel like, okay, we have to play defensively. I felt like we couldn't kill the game at any moment, so why not just kind of sit? And I do agree with that, because I feel like if we decided to go and trying to attack, trying to win, we might have probably, just a very high risk, high yield. But at this moment, I feel like we want to play conservatively. I'm sure Mikel Arteta was thinking about the same thing as well. And I felt like, potentially you might want to have Trossard in the team at in this instance. And you might have Kieran Tierney coming on just to face against Salah, because on the left-hand side, we are quite struggling in a way. Zinchenko was not the most defensive player ever you can see as a left back. But certainly in this game, I feel like, yes, 2-1, we kept getting pushed. We might not not be scoring another goal unless it was a counter attack. But in terms of build up, I think it's really hard for Arsenal to have a build up, and that also leads to a goal. So it's fine. So 2 changes that we made in the, I don't know how many minutes, but I think we still have 20 more minutes to play. Trossard coming on for Jesus. That was a moment where the tactic has completely shifted. We're playing 5 at the back with 2 wing backs, and you have Jakob Kivior coming on. And again, such a big game for him. Again, second game. Actually, no, was it the third game for him as an Arsenal player? But in such a scary game like this, I don't know if he can handle it. But the fact that Arsenal signed him, he is a Polish international. You have to trust him, and he is our only center back in the squad. So you just have to put him on. And you're taking up Odegaard as well. Perfect 5-2-3 formation. And it looks like it has to be, we're not going to win. We're not going to kill the game by build-up, but instead we might kill the game by a counterattack. And 70-something minutes in, I feel like we're 20 more minutes to go. Defensively, we have been a little bit shaky, but we're still in the game. Nunez, was it? Oh, actually, it wasn't Nunez. I think it was Firmino coming on as well. And this guy's scary. Every time when he play against Arsenal, he scored a lot of goals. I believe he scored 8 goals against Arsenal already. And I'm sure this is his last game versus Arsenal ever. He'll be leaving the club by the end of the season. But I believe it was Kivior trying to do a very big kick. Instead, he got in a way kind of got mugged in a way, and a through ball to Nunez. But what a great save by Aaron Ramsdale. Good save right there, and keep us in the ball game. And we keep defending until 80-something minutes in. It's inevitable. Liverpool equalized with the header, and guess who scored? Firmino scored, and Trent Alexander-Arnold with an assist. And this is the part where I got a little bit frustrated because I feel like we're not going to win by build up, but instead we're going to win. We might be killing this game by counterattack. And in a way, if you want to counterattack, defensive counterattack team, you cannot play Zinchenko at that point because Zinchenko is a technical player. You want to put him, right in the middle for possession uses, but you take out Odegaard, you take out Jesus. There's no point of also having Zinchenko there at the same time. And again, in a game like this, defensively has to be very important for Arsenal. And I felt like Arteta might have gotten that wrong. You guys might see it differently, but for me, I feel like I think the substitution with Tierney should have come on earlier. Might be the same substitution with Trossard and also Kivior, and you just gotta put Kieran Tierney in. He is your best left back. I think he is probably he was one of the best left back in the Premier League, and the fact that you don't use him earlier and you don't utilize what he can do defensively for you, then Arteta get it wrong. And I think he got it wrong in a lot of circumstances because think about this, I feel like on our left hand side we have been keep getting exposed. Salah's keep pushing. Thiago's right there roaming around. Henderson's there roaming around. Trent, Mo Salah, they are all over on the right hand side. At that point, you should have Kieran Tierney in that moment just to stabilize everything on the left hand side because we couldn't keep possession at all. Zinchenko, great player to keep possession, but in a game like this, I feel like giving up possession just to defend dearly, I think that should have been it. And it's because of Zinchenko got nutmeg. Trent crosses to the far post. Firmino scores. That sums up the game. I don't blame. Again, like I said, I don't blame any Arsenal players today because I think they put on such a good fight. It was not for them. It was just unlucky that we didn't win this game because we are playing at Anfield, which is fine. We're not always convinced to win at Anfield, right? Oh God, Jesus Christ, my legs are numbing at this point. But where was I? Yes, nobody expected us to win, right? Even personally for me, I feel like we might not, we might lose, we might win, we might draw. That's how that could be every Arsenal fan, that could be every Arsenal fan, mentality at that point. Just like, the players that gave it all, but today it's just not our day. Then what do? Sit, defend. We have to lead, sit and defend. But we conceded pretty much kind of a last minute goal, and the fact that we know that the extra time is going to be quite a lot. Jesus went down, Gabriel went down. Then at that moment you feel like you just feel like the game is pretty much ended, or you're fearing the worst. Kieran Tierney coming on, took a shot earlier on, and could have done better, but 2-2 score. I'm not expecting us to win, but there was a glimpse of hope in the last 40-second. Martinelli, just the pass was a little bit too heavy to Saka, because it was Saka, Martinelli, Van Dijk, Trossard in that area. You thought we can possibly win that, but the pass from Martinelli was a little bit way too much. If it was Fabio Vieira, we might have probably won the game. But again, I don't blame any players for that. But there is only one hero in today's team, was Aaron Ramsdale. We have to give hats off to him. He is definitely the man of the match. And I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking, guys. I know he might be a little bit overrated in certain aspects. I feel like people rated him way too highly than what other people think. And I feel like you guys might disagree with me. Again, stopping wise, I don't think he is, as convincing as Ederson, Alisson, even Emi Martinez in a way. But he is very good with his feet. That's the best part of Aaron Ramsdale game. And today, in terms of shot stopping game that he had, was pure phenomenal. That shot from Salah, I don't remember the time, guys. I just remember the save. It was in the box, kind of leaning his body, on the right-hand side, opened up his body to the left. Hopefully he can curls that one in. It took a deflection, but Ramsdale, that was such an important save. It might have potentially be the Premier League title save, maybe, or that might be the save that can put us to win the Premier League. I don't know. When we look, of course, we want to win the title at this point, but whatever happened in the future, when you look back at that save, it shows the determination, how far he has gone, his life story, being relegated twice in two different teams, getting signed by Arsenal at a price tag where nobody believed he worth that much, and everybody was bashing the board, Edu, Arteta, and I guess that 18 million in the end kind of worth it, isn't it? And that was a good, was it not 18? I think it was 24 million, but that was a great save by Ramsdale. Just a little bit of fingertip, just kind of touched it, snapped it away for a corner. And later on in the end, it was in the extra time as well. I think it was a kind of a lob through ball to Nunez, trying to dinks it back in the middle to Konate. Got a little bit of touch to it, but Ramsdale, again, pretty much a goal line clearance, even though it wasn't quite close to the line, but it was. That also could have probably defined our season by the end. In the end, and just like that, we drew the game. It was an entertaining game. I was kneeling down, praying we get a win. I was jumping up and down, but I think this is a very entertaining game. Entertaining game for, I would say, for neutral fans, for United fans, football pundits, just football fans in general. This is a very entertaining game. But for Liverpool, I believe they think this is a very entertaining game. But for us, it's a very entertaining game as well. We felt like we could have probably snatched with the result with the 3 points, but it was a fair result in the end. 2-2. And Aaron Ramsdale, goal-saving hero. He just doesn't get mentioned a lot sometimes. I feel like in a game like this, nobody would have thought he would play such a pivotal role for Arsenal, and he did. Ramsdale, my man of the match. I'm not gonna give player ratings because I don't quite do that kind of thing. Liverpool might have thought they would have won this game. I felt like, yeah, in a way, in the second half, I felt like they should have won the game. If they scored a penalty, they would have gone on and win the game. That's how I think. But as an Arsenal fan, of course, I mean, we have our own opinion. We have our own, take of how this game should have gone. We should have killed the game earlier on by scoring the third goal, potentially. But, the fact that we drew in the end because we played poor. I can honestly admit that we played quite poorly in the second half. And somehow snatch a 1 point, I would take that. And right now we are 6 points clear off the top of the table. And City still have a game in hand. And, oh, God, I don't want to talk about City because City, it's at the point where they have, they are going into the last part of the season with a very strong desire to make a comeback. But as an Arsenal fan, you always think, well, Man City has been dominating the stage for that long. Why can't they just give us the title, right? Just slipped up a little bit. But it's tough because Arsenal still have City away, Chelsea at home, Newcastle away, and Brighton at home as well. I'm going to give a lot of respect to Brighton. I think they are a team where you can actually see them finishing up the top 6 actually. But for Arsenal, we have a much tougher fixtures than City. But for us, we have to do our job. We have to play game by game. I believe the next game we play is West Ham away. Again, I mean, it's West Ham. They can be very good, but they can be very bad. Like I think it was a few days ago they lost 5-1 to Newcastle United. And, of course, they're fighting for relegation, potentially in a way. I think today they beat Fulham today. The relegation battle has become more interesting and more interesting every week. And I think in the end, City has, 8 more games? Was it 8 more games to play? Was it? No, they have 9 more games to play. Right? Yeah, they have 9 more. They have 9 more games to play. But the majority of the opponent that they get was relatively quite easy, and the toughest opponent that might face is actually us, or might be Chelsea. I know Chelsea's sitting at 11th, but they have a good squad, but just poor management in general. So I just hope I really hope that I know City got Champions League against Bayern Munich. They have FA Cup against was it Brighton? Might be the other team. So all I'm saying that I would be happy if City wins the Champions League, and for us we get the Premier League. That's a pretty good trade-off, right? So I would rather want that, but hopefully I hope City is not going to get a good result in their game in hand, because right now we are 6 points ahead if they win, which put us 3 points ahead of them. But we have to go to Etihad Stadium away. I'm not expecting much. I'm expecting a loss today, so that's why this game kind of stinks in a way. If we win, of course, losing to Man City in the end, assuming every other games we win, we beat Chelsea, Newcastle United, Brighton. If we beat them, I assume if we beat them, then again it's really all down to the Etihad game, right? And that's why a lot of Arsenal Arsenal fans are quite gutted, because right now, assuming that City won their game in hand, and they're 3 points away from us, and the game at the Etihad is going to be very difficult for us. I'm not expecting us to win. I don't think we will win. Might be a draw, or for a very high possibility, we might lose that game. I think we might lose that game. I know it's 15, was it 15, 16, 17 days away from that game. So Arsenal got to do their job. Arsenal got to win the next 2 games, and then we got to figure it out how we are going to beat Man City. Of course, every Arsenal fan wants to beat Man City, but in reality, I don't think we will. Even a draw in the end would be a great advantage, a great benefit. So we can focus on other games as well. I don't care about the Newcastle, United, Liverpool, Tottenham race that they have on their own. Right now, we just have to focus on ourselves, trying to get a result. And Man City, even though it's 17 days away, but I'm just kind of wanting to predict the future so I don't get very disappointed, because I feel like if the worst case scenario, it's that we lost to City, wins their game in hand, and they beat us, and by goal difference, they are going to win the league if they continue like that. So, and I know a lot of like football fans out there, rifle fans, certainly want to watch Arsenal to fall, wanting to bottle, and I don't blame them, because I'm not saying that we don't deserve this. I feel like the title race that we are in right now, we certainly deserve it, because we have been playing very good football this season. And when you ask a lot of Arsenal fans, and they think the same thing. But again, it's just certain parts of the fan base which triggers the rifle fans. And I'm just saying that I'm not one of them. I'm not toxic. I'm not delusion. I think it was AFTV, I think Turkish, he was the one saying that Arsenal MSN, it's better than Barcelona MSN. When I heard it, it's just all talk and bullshit. There's no way. Of course, we are good at what we're doing, but you just can't compare Luis Suarez, Messi, and also Neymar did in that Barcelona team in those years. And I saw a tweet saying that Bukayo Saka, it's better than Ian Robin, and that was bullshit as well. Robin is probably one of the best right wingers in the world. He was one of the best right wingers in the world. He's very clinical with his decision making, and more importantly, his finishing was phenomenal. And Saka, again, he's a great player, but I don't think he is there yet. Right now we're building Saka. Saka has done his own thing for us, great things for us, but I don't think he is at that level with Ian Robin at the moment. Like I said, I know it's these toxic, delusional fan base which makes rival fans want us to bottle it more. I think I saw a great example. You don't quite see Newcastle United. They have been phenomenal this season, even towards the last half of the season. Newcastle, you don't see a lot of fans kind of like, being delusional and stuff like that. And that's why a lot of people put a lot of respect on them. Even on Brighton as well, a lot of people put so much respect on Brighton's name. And for Arsenal, it's just that particular, fan base, particular group of Arsenal fan groups, make rifle fans, trigger. I don't know if it's a trolling thing or just pure delusional, but I'm saying this, whoever listening, if you guys are Liverpool, United, City, Chelsea, Spurs fan, I'm sorry. I mean, I didn't quite ask for that. I didn't quite ask for the tweet, but I just want you guys to know that the reason why I have this channel, the reason why I have this, little community talking about Arsenal is the fact that I don't want any toxicity within our discussion. And yeah, that's pretty much come to an end of the podcast right here. I'm sure this might be the longest, the longest podcast ever in this channel. And certainly I thought I was going to stop at around 25, 30 minutes. But when you keep on talking, there's more stuff that you want to talk about, you want to address. And this is what I'm addressing right now. It's just, entertaining game. Could have done better in certain areas, but fair results. I am still a little bit gutted, which is normal. I don't want to go on social media because I felt like we have bottled the lead. Have we bottled the league yet? Probably not, or not yet. But certainly, I would not be surprised if Arsenal didn't even win the game. Like I said from the beginning, I wasn't always convinced that Arsenal might win the game. I'm not those type of fans where, Arsenal's going to win the league this season. We're already winning the league, blah, blah, blah. I'm not that. Certainly, I have my own optimistic and pessimistic as well. But it really depends on every results that we get. Like today, if we win, of course, I'm being hopeful that we still might be winning the league. But like today, we dropped points, deservedly so. And I think, and then of course, which also made me a little bit sad, a little bit disappointed. Because, the reason why we felt disappointed is because we have Man City away. And also Man City had a pretty easy runs of games in the last 9 games. So, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So hopefully this discussion today, this post-match review will allow you guys or the majority or other fan bases, when you guys listen to this channel, this podcast, I just want you to know, I just want to apologize in advance for some of the Arsenal fans. They're just stinky. And yeah, thank you guys for listening on this mediocre Sunday. It's in the afternoon here in Vancouver, West Pacific of the North America region. It's raining quite terribly at the moment. I don't know. Is it because it rained so hard today we didn't get a result? Could be it. But I hope you guys enjoy the upcoming weekdays, weekend, and good. Was it Easter Sunday? Good Easter Sunday, everybody. Hope you guys have a nice day, and I will see you guys in a bit.